chapter 18, and today in Luke 18 I come with lessons you already know of. Remember, they say repetition is for emphasis. So today I'm just repeating things that you already know of to either remind you if you'd forgotten or to emphasize on them. So if you hear me speak and then you're like, knew that, I'm like, hey, I see you. But just know that repetition is for emphasis. So shall I begin the repetition? So verse 31 to 34, this is where Jesus again predicts his death. Luke 18, 31 to 34. So from sermons and from commentaries that I have been reading and sermons I've been listening to, it is highlighted that even by this point, most of the disciples of Jesus still believed that Jesus was going to be like a political leader. They had not yet understood or accepted or comprehended and accepted the fact that Jesus was like a spiritual leader, or he was the Messiah. They viewed him, although they knew him as the Messiah, but they were also looking forward to him being the Messiah and a political leader. So even at this point, when Jesus is saying that he will be crucified, but on the third day he will rise again, they didn't fully comprehend or understand it. So you might think, but that perhaps Jesus would have been like, these disciples, because even as they were thinking so, Jesus knew they were thinking so. But Jesus was very patient with them. He did not replace them. He did not say, these disciples, I've been with them all these years and my time is almost coming to an end, and they still are expecting me to be a political leader. Let me get another new disciples. No, he was very patient with them. He walked with them and he stood with them until the very end. So now, when it comes to real life, or at least for what I see, I could be wrong, or perhaps it is limited with where I'm currently at. But I'm saying that there's a lot of impatience among, especially people that are mentors. Now, I am not a mentor, so maybe I am speaking out of turn or I am speaking out of inexperience. I am not a mentor. But I have observed that people lack this patience that Jesus had. Jesus was willing to, he didn't change the disciples because they were not comprehending or understanding his mission. He was with them until the very end, until he resurrected and until they fully comprehended the mission of Jesus. Now, for most of us, or not for most of mentors or people who are working with others, I see that there is some form of impatience. Impatience. For example, I have seen, I could be wrong, but from what I have seen, you find that if somebody is working with another person, let's say they are mentoring someone, and then God forbid this person becomes pregnant, or this person impregnates another a girl out there, you'll find that most people, or what I've seen, that is the end of that mentorship. They stop. They say, you know what, this is not what we were doing. This is not what I was trying to teach you. Your pregnancy was was not in the mix. Was not in the mix. So at the end of it all, they abandon that person. Quote unquote, they abandon that person. So how do I put this? I am not saying that we should accommodate or we should encourage people to engage in reckless sexual behavior or to dishonor sex and all that. No. But when you abandon this person, what happens? Because if you'll find that if this person was born again and then they fell and then they got pregnant, number one, first of all, they're being mocked with the world. The world is there saying, it is our watu wameokoka ndo wanakuanga the worst. These people who are born again, they are the worst. They just pretend. I knew it. Walokole, wanajifanya tu. They are the worst afadhali sisi. So first of all, they are receiving that harsh judgment from the world. The world is not there to hug them and tell them, oh, sorry, no, they're already being ridiculed. Number two, they are probably being laughed at by their friends or the people they used to call friends. They're already feeling shame and guilt. Number three, perhaps their parents are rightfully disappointed in them. it is okay. If a parent is it does not make that parent evil, because I don't think there's any parent out there who's like, yo, my daughter and my son, go ahead, have those babies outside marriage. Yeah, no. So it is okay if a parent is disappointed. So they're already dealing with that. Imagine if they're in church, they're already dealing with eyes, eyes looking at them like, what? So imagine they're receiving all those manner and form of rejection. And then perhaps they were hoping you, as their mentor, you are the only one who was going to hold their hands. And then they come to you, and then you also tell them, you know what? I don't think we can continue. This is the end of me and you. That was too much. You go. So what happens to this person? The world is laughing at them. Their friends are mocking them. Maybe their family is ashamed of them. So now they are standing there by themselves. If we leave them like that, what happens? Because I'm seeing there's a lot of that from, okay, at least from where I'm at. If something comes to the surface and then you realize, oh, so and so stole this amount of money, people is like, yeah, nobody now wants to talk to that person. Nobody now wants to be associated with that person. If they come to church, nobody even wants to sit next to them. Even those who are their friends, everybody is avoiding them. So it begs the question, where is the grace? Where is the mercy? Where is the patience? Because I'm sure if Jesus met that person, if Jesus was on earth physically and they met such a person, Jesus will not like tell them, stay away from me, stay away from me. That is not what we're talking about. No, there's a way to let them know. And I'm sure by now they already know they did wrong. There's a way to let them know what they've done is wrong, but we should not abandon them. Where is the patience? If somebody is taking forever to bear the fruits that you hope to see from them, where's the patience? So I feel like most there's a lack of this patience that Jesus had. There's a lack of this mercy and grace, because yes, Jesus was harsh with the Pharisees. He called them out, but at the same time, he went to the well and talked to the woman who was considered a prostitute. Even the woman who was brought, they wanted to stone him. He didn't condemn her, but he told her, sin no more. So how do we, and I'm not saying we should not encourage hypocritical behavior where we preach water and drink wine, but how do we handle people who are fallen? Because I feel like there's very little patience with people who are fallen, and especially from people who used to be close or people who used to be their mentor. They're like thrown away, wakotuko, they're like, hey, this is not what we're talking about, so now deal with it on your own. But again, am I saying this is everyone, this is what this generation is doing? No, but I read this and then this came to mind what I observed. And sometimes it even gets scary. You're like, yeah, so if I fall, this is how people are going to treat me. So you're like, where niko normal. Again, I'm not saying we should live recklessly, or we should sin, or we should live a double standard life. No. Yes, we should call sin, and even in chapter 17 we are saying we should rebuke each other, we should correct each other, but we should not condemn each other, and also we should not abandon one another because of maybe somebody has fallen, or that where is the patience, where is the grace, where is the mercy that we accord to people who have fallen, or to people who society, quote in quotes, consider black sheep, and so on and so forth. So this is something that really stood out for me here. And also to myself, how do I interact with somebody who has fallen? Do I baby them so much such that after they continue living in sin, because also that is not good? Or do I show up for them and let them know that there is grace, there is mercy for them to be redeemed, and even for second chance? How do we interact with such people? So do we have this heart? Because Jesus was very patient with the disciples until the very end, until they finally his mission and purpose on earth. Share with us your lessons on Luke 18. Yeah. The plan was, you see me watch different types of movies, and as I was sitting here, nothing was clicking. I scrolled, I saw several Nigerian movies, and I was like, no, I don't want to watch this. I saw some Kenyan YouTube series, and I was like, no, I'm not in the mood for this. I saw some interesting vlogs, I was like, no, I'm not in the mood for this. I saw some action movies. I actually downloaded one action movie. I was like, you know what, maybe not now. No. So I was here really struggling, and then I decided to listen to this channel that recommends K-dramas.
Subtitles, global fans can dive into the stormy world of obsessive love and revenge without missing a moment. So let's begin the countdown and uncover the dark yet irresistible side of K-drama. Starting at number 10.
I'm supposed to be watching, but I'm just scrolling. I'm finding nothing that interests me. Well, I've been having several bad, okay, not bad, but disappointing days. I thought I saw something interesting I wanted to watch, kumbe. And then earlier, I thought that whatever I was watching was going to recommend a nice K drama, and then I'm like, and then earlier I was trying to upload, and then the net imehang, and then so hakuna kitu na upload. So I was like, you know what, you don't want, I was there 1 hour waiting for what, a 20-second 56-second something to upload for a whole hour and a half. Nimeboeka. So in short, I'm having several bad, okay, not bad, but disappointing days. If I find something interesting, and let us know. Yeah. So I think I found several movies. Okay, I may not finish watching all of them right now. I might pick one, I might pick none, but I have found at least three that I want to watch. One is this one. It's called, yeah. Yes, and it's because it's reminding me of, it has a certain vibe that maybe it's the music, maybe it's, I don't know. Also the coloring, it's reminding me of zile Afro cinema za kitambo, the old Afro cinema. Evil. And then there is another one. Let me see if I can find it. I've seen a short, and then I've been intrigued by the storyline. Let me see if I can find it. Before that, there is this. Sam Morris and Nadia Buhari. This one I want to watch because there's one I watched. This is 2 months ago. There's one I watched that is for the two of them, and they acted in it. I Want Your Man, and I liked the chemistry between the two. So as you have seen, I am filming this in November. This is November, right? Yes, I'm filming this in November, but I will upload them in December because I don't film in real time. I cannot film in real time, so I am filming my Vlogmas in November, and then I will upload them in December. It works for me. If it offends you, my apologies. There is another one, so let me. And then there is this for Sonia Uche, the first one. Okay. I also watched Shifira. I also would want to watch this Nameless and Her Child and Wahoo. I didn't finish watching that conversation. Then this.
Okay, I've seen you.
I'll watch that one. As I said, I also watched Shifira. So let's see how things go. Kenyan comedy. Maybe I'll also watch this. I like Jules, Monzo Jules. I love to watch her vlogs. Very simple, but I found them very entertaining. I might also watch that. because I'm about to hit stop recording in this video. I guess I'm just having a terrible day. I was also watching the docus. I love watching Dominion families videos, so I'll watch the docus, and then if well, most of the time nikianza watch one, I watch the rest. I watch the docus, I go watch Jesus family, I go watch Wapendwa family, I go watch Pika na Richie, because their content was in a, they like feed each other. So if I start watching one, I end up watching the rest. So I'll start watching this. So I don't know, I'm just here telling you what I'm supposed to be watching. I won't be surprised if I watch nothing, because well, the disappointments that have followed me, voila, and I'm running out of space, so this is it. I hope you're having a better Christmas than I am, although technically this is not Christmas. However, this is meant to go live on Christmas. Whichever way, make sure you read the Bible and share with us what you're learning from it. See you.